Please.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the fourth session of our English exchange program with international medical students in 20 and 25. And it is truly a pleasure to see so many enthusiastic faces here today with us. And we believe that this program will be a great opportunity for us to connect, learn, and exchange valuable knowledge about medicine in the future. Before we begin, let's give a big round of applause to all of you for being here today, and to our distinguished guests who have joined here today. We are honored to have several esteemed guests with us this morning, and let me introduce them to you. First, Mr. Viên, Secretary of the United in Bạch Mai Medical College. And Mr. Trường Cao Đẳng from Bạch Mai Hospital Office. And to officially commence today's event, we would like to invite Mr. Viên, the Secretary of the United in Bạch Mai Medical College, to deliver the opening speech. Please welcome Mr. Viên.
Hello everyone, hello for students from England. My name is Sinh. Every people always call me. This also in English. That's my name. Well, we welcome all of you and our students. Today we have set a just unit here and say something about my college. You know, like my medical college, also my school, belong to like my hospital. Right now we are training for 5 major nursing students. And
Thêm một mic nữa để truyền cho các bạn nói được không? Một mic cho cô.
Đem cái trên bàn.
Một cái đang kẹp ở trên áo của cô.
Kẹp chưa?
Kẹp rồi. Đang kẹp ở trên áo.
Sao lại cầm này cũng lại đang để hai cái kia?
Thì cái này có bật chưa?
We organized this program for students learn English better. And today I would like to thank Mr. Thắng and everyone come here. I hope that we make cozy and useful environment in English and exchange the cuisine and culture and lecture, right? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Viên, for your inspiring words. And now we move on to a very exciting part of our event today. We are honored to have medical students from UK with us today. So now, can you share something about
Cái đoạn nào thuyết trình thì em phóng to đến đấy vào đấy nha.
Can you come here?
Everyone big hand.
Hello everyone, my name's Elliot. I'm a final year medical student, so student doctor from the UK. It's nice to meet so many people, so many students from Bạch Mai Medical College who are in a very similar position to what we're in. So we don't feel that we're in a position to give you a talk. We're one of you. We're exactly the same as you, just in the UK. But thank you for having us. Our aim today is just to talk a little bit about our country, where we're from, how you train as a doctor in the UK. So I'm going to start off, well, let's introduce us all first and then I'll talk a little bit about the UK.
So I'm the same as Elliot, I'm the same year, we're
in Wales.
My name's Lauren, I'm also final year student. I'm in Oxford.
So, first thing I wanted to talk about was how healthcare is delivered in the UK. So, slightly different to what you have in Vietnam. In the UK, healthcare is funded by the state, so we pay for it with our taxes, so it comes out of the money that we earn. And it is free for everyone. It's called free at the point of need. So regardless of your age, your background, your sex, your ethnicity, your beliefs, the healthcare is available, which is something that we feel very proud to be part of for working for the NHS. In terms of where the three of us are studying, it's Swansea University, which is in Wales. So the UK is made up of Wales, England, Scotland, part of Ireland, and we're from close to the capital in Wales. And for us, it's a graduate entry program. So the three of us have done a degree, a bit like what you're training for beforehand, and then we now do 4 years of medicine, and we're in our final year. And we're lucky enough to do something called a medical elective, which is why we are here in Hanoi. So we have this opportunity to study abroad in order to see how healthcare is delivered in a different country. And we're quite early on in our medical elective. This is only our second week, but it's really nice to see the differences between how healthcare is delivered here versus how it is back home. And the first thing that I've noticed in the short time that I've spent here is how Vietnamese people are very adaptable. I think you are working with maybe fewer resources, and you will see this on the wards as nursing students, that things are very busy. It's a huge hospital here in Bạch Mai, right? 4,000 beds. The hospital that we work in Wales is like 700, 750, so Bạch Mai is massive. But it's really good to see how adaptable healthcare professionals are with the resources that you have. Do you want to talk a bit more about?
I could talk a bit about hospital. Okay. So you said some differences. I thought of a few more as well. At home, our hospitals for us are quite busy at the moment. But one thing that I've noticed is that we have difficulties with social care. So patients come to hospital, and then it's hard for them to go home again. So sometimes they end up still in the hospital, which means our hospitals end up busy. But I've noticed that here, that doesn't seem to be the case. More people go home and they don't stay in the hospital for quite so long, which is a better way of doing it, I would say.
So yeah, we've noticed that, like as Flora was saying, I think you take care of your older generations probably better than we do at home. A lot of our grandparents end up in care homes or residential homes, where in other cultures they tend to stay with family, and that leads to some of the problems that we have in the UK, where older people stay in hospital for a lot longer. They'll be there for 6 months often, even though they're better, because we can't send them home. Our social care is often free as well, which means that it's quite limited by the amount of people that can have it, which is a big problem for our hospitals.
I think the only other difference I've noticed is we've have a big network of family doctors in the UK, so you would go and see them first, and they would be in your town or your village, and everyone would go and see the same person, and they'll refer you up to the big centres, where here you seem to come directly straight to see the specialist if you need to go and see someone for whatever it might be. So that's definitely a difference between systems as well.
The next thing that might be worth talking about is the different paths that we've taken to go into medicine. So as I say, the three of us have gone down this graduate entry route, so we did another degree or a major prior to doing medicine, so a bit like how it works in America. So I was a pharmacist before going into medicine, and now doing the 4-year degree, whereas Lauren, you've done the...
Yeah, so the more common way of getting into medicine in the UK is doing it as an undergraduate, so you go in straight out of school, and then it's 5 or 6 years. So the course that I did was split half and half, so
the chance to kind of do some research and work in a lab for a bit. And then the last 3 years we moved into hospitals like you guys and went on placement around all the various departments before we graduate, but that means ultimately it takes 5 or 6 years versus the 4 years that the graduate entry course takes. So I was the same as Ellie. I did another degree before starting medicine, so I did what we call a biomedical degree, so more research based, which was 3 years, and then I worked as what we call a healthcare assistant or an auxiliary nurse. I'm not sure what the equivalent is here. For a year, so helping out with the nurses and taking care of patients and doing personal care, and before I started doing medicine.
The other thing that Mr. Tang has asked us maybe to speak about was a little bit about kind of culture and cuisine in the UK. Because one of the things that we've really enjoyed so far in Vietnam is obviously the food. We spent a lot of time eating. So I think we feel a little bit embarrassed that actually in the UK our cuisine is not quite as
it's not as good.
I recommend the UK for the cuisine.
Yeah, so I think probably what we're more known for in the UK is stealing other people's cultures and cuisines from around the world. So we eat quite a variety of food. We eat kind of some Indian and South Asian dishes, Middle Eastern dishes. We eat lots of Chinese food. We eat your food, Thai food, etc. So it depends on how you look at it. You could view it that actually it's quite nice that we have this kind of multicultural society. And potentially you might not see that as much in Vietnam.
And do you think as well, it seems that more people eat out and outside here, whereas at home we cook at home and we go to the supermarket. I don't eat out for food maybe once a month. It's not common. I normally just eat at home.
I think that's true for a lot of people. Eating out in the UK is really, really expensive. So yeah, we do a lot of cooking at home, and I think when you're cooking at home, we eat more, I guess you could call them classically British dishes. So a British dish would be something like a Sunday roast. So we have roast meat and then potatoes, vegetables. That's quite a classic British dish. Things like fish and chips as well is quite British. But a lot of food when you go out to eat is basically taken from other countries. Like Ellie was saying, Indian, South Asian, Italian, yeah. We see a lot of food.
It's actually rare you get a restaurant unless it's a pub that serves purely British.
Pub culture is quite big in the UK, so we have what they call public houses or pubs. We haven't really seen the equivalent here. People use them more as a social place to meet rather than you go for the food. So people will drink there, you can have food there as well, but that's a very, I think, classic British thing to do, to meet people, socialise as well as to sit in a pub. Often in the garden when the sun's rarely shining. We don't get a lot of sun in the UK, as you can tell. So that's what British people do.
Maybe that's a good tip. I don't know how many of you have been to the UK, if you've been to the UK before, but if you do, and you come to visit, then maybe go and sit in a pub and go and experience the British culture by watching what happens over a pint.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Anything that we've not spoken about?
I think for British people, we drink a lot of tea as well. And you drink a lot of tea in the morning, I think. We also drink tea, but at every time of day. If you go to visit people in their house, you will always be offered a cup of tea, usually with milk. And that's to meet people, that's also how we do it. We do it over tea, usually with a snack as well. But people in the UK will drink tea at every time of the day.
I think the only other thing that feeds into this culture around food, one of the differences is we were saying we don't eat outside as much as you guys. A lot of your food culture is around eating outside in the street, right? I think the reason that doesn't happen in the UK is because the weather is notoriously rubbish. It's not very good. So it rains a lot and it's quite cold. So it's not conducive to...
Not very pleasant.
It's not really the same eating your pho in the morning if it's raining. So most of it's inside.
And the other stereotype is that people go on holiday for a week, somewhere warm, and turn red as a lobster because we're not used to the sun, and you don't want to take it for granted.
Good.
It's bad for your skin.
So we've done a bit of talking. We were wondering if you guys maybe had any specific questions about the UK. Hey.
My name is Nước. I'm 27 years old. I'm currently studying at high quality nursing student. I'm very happy to learn and grow. And I hear about your culture, your study, your education, your medical, and I really want to know what a very big challenge of medical student in UK. Facebook.
Di chuyển kia đang bị lưng, di chuyển ra không phải
In the UK, it's very competitive to do medicine. We have a lot of students that want to do it, and not that many places. When we're studying as well, there are quite a lot of students in the same hospital, so sometimes it's difficult to get a lot of experience in certain areas when there's lots of students trying to do the same thing.
I think as well it's interesting at the moment that the National Health Service that we have and all the hospitals are part of is kind of under a lot of stress and under a lot of scrutiny at the moment. So as medical students working in that, we're working in an environment where there are lots of doctors and nurses and other healthcare professionals who are really keen to be in the jobs they're in but are really struggling with the environment that that's in. And so coming into that as a student can be quite difficult, and trying to figure out, we're kind of in this unsolvable problem of we don't seem to have enough doctors, but we also don't have the opportunity to train. There's a kind of a bottleneck to get doctors through to being qualified as well. So it ends up meaning that it's really competitive to get through, and the opportunities and the environment that you're training in isn't necessarily what I get the impression that it was like 10 years ago.
Learn in my class, my study very important about communicate with the patient. And very nice to hear about your working. And if you have the time to go around Hanoi, just try some Hanoi food. The Vietnamese food are very nice.
Anyone? We can take some questions about for medical students from UK, please.
Hi, my name is Giancarlo. I'm studies nursery in Bạch Mai. So I have a question. I was wondering if you're drinking tea every day, every hour, and do you have a trouble with sleep?
I drink in the afternoon. I drink decaf Earl Grey, and I love mint tea. We both love mint tea.
Yeah.
So I tend to pass the afternoon drink decaf versions.
Yeah, in the morning before 12, well, firstly, before 12 we have caffeine, and then after 12, no caffeine. So we can sleep, we like our sleep. Yeah.
I think it depends on the person. Some people drink it throughout the day,
Yeah.
and people find they have to stop to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So I have some questions for you. Now we are in our hospital, like my hospital. So can you share something about our hospital? For example, what do you like most about our hospital? And what do you think about our hospital and our like my medical college?
So I think the first thing that I personally noticed is this hospital is much bigger than what we're used to. The hospital, as Elliot was saying, we only have about 700 beds. hospital that we train in. Here is a lot bigger, but everyone is very, very friendly and welcoming, which is really, really nice. So that's really good for us. And so I've been doing obstetrics and gynecology for these 2 weeks, and they're very keen to show us lots of things. And so I've been to see a woman give birth this morning, and they're very reassuring to their patients as well, which is really, really nice to see.
Yeah, I definitely get the impression that there's a lot of trust in the medical professions that patients are dealing with in a way that maybe doesn't exist, say, in the UK. Yeah, well, I mean, we guess it sometimes, but it's definitely an obvious thing. I think perhaps more people at home have an idea of what they expect, so they come with an expectation, and they might go less maybe appreciative of the care if it doesn't meet their expectation.
One thing I've noticed outside of this hospital is whenever we have told local people that we are on our medical elective in Bạch Mai, people are like, oh, that's great, Bạch Mai is a very prestigious hospital within Vietnam. And I think I've noticed from as soon as I've been here, there's a sense of pride for training here. I think because it's a big hospital, it's what we would call a tertiary centre, so a centre from which other hospitals would refer to for the level of care that can't be offered elsewhere within Vietnam. There's this sense of pride for working here and training here, and I think that's really nice to see. It's nice to feel proud of where you're training. The other thing that we've touched on is this, how well respected healthcare professionals are here, and you will be very well respected by Vietnamese public as being a nurse, just as we've been very respected as being student doctors. And I think that's really nice, because sometimes in the UK that feels like that is maybe slipping away slightly as expectations get higher. But one thing I feel quite proud of in the UK is we really take on board what patients' needs are. So there's lots of emphasis in our training on shared decision making. So it's not just us as a student doctor or in the future a doctor saying this is what we're going to do for you. It's kind of coming to a shared agreement to say, I think this is the best plan, do you agree? And making sure that the patient goes away happy. And maybe if there's something that you guys could take away from the UK is coming to a decision with your patients rather than kind of telling them this is what's going to happen. So maybe there's some lessons for each of us there.
Yeah, thank you. So what do you like most about our school and our students? When
Well,
you come here, what do you like most?
I think the community, or like the sense of community and the friendliness of everyone has been really nice to see. Yeah.
I think in Western cultures and in the UK, there's a bit more of an expectation for you to stand out or be an individual. I've noticed in Vietnam there is more of a collaborative or a collective. You feel proud to be part of a bigger unity, and I think that's really nice. So that's been one of my favourite things to see, is have this kind of sense of pride.
Yeah. At home, on placement, I think you have to really put yourself out there to gain experience from whoever you're shadowing. Here it seems much more inclusive, and everyone's really happy to teach, so it's been an amazing experience so far.
So thank you for your interesting information and for the talk about our hospital and our school. So you can tell me more.
Thank you.
Now we move to the next part of our event today. We are honored to have medical students from Bạch Mai Medical College and further introduce Bạch Mai Medical College and share insights about Vietnamese medical education system. And please give them a warm welcome.
established in 1945 with over 17 years of development. The school has trained many healthcare workers from Bạch Mai Hospital and many central and local hospitals around the country. In 2013, the school was recognized as a Bạch Mai Medical College. Through its development, the school is become one of the national high-quality medical research training institution, contributing to the healthcare for people. For people with a mandate, vision, college, and educational goal. And certainly, the school administration include a Dr. Giao, director of Bạch Mai Hospital, principal of Bạch Mai Medical College. Next, Prof. Dr. Giáp, deputy director of Bạch Mai Hospital, school council president. The third one is Dr. Munifu, vice rector, and finally is Ms. Gideon, vice rector too. And this is the organizational chart. A total of 536 lecturers of the school, include 16 professors, associate professors, and 231 master, 64 doctors, and 225 bachelors. In the college, we have many merits and achievements. The third class labor medal in 2011 and 2018, certificate of merit from the Premier Minister in 2003, then certificate of merit from the Ministry of Health Medical Industry Union for many years, certificate of merit from the Department of Education and Training, and finally certificate of merit from the director of Bạch Mai Hospital. In the past, the college taught beginner and college, but now we also teach students in college. There are 5 majors: nurse, medical, laboratory, technical, facility and rehabilitation, medical imaging, technical, and pharmacy. The school learning facility are the reinvestment, adjustment, and modernity, including first is the training, lecturing, theory lessons, and this is the theoretical classroom. There are 18 rooms, including one lecture hall with enough seats for more than 400 people. Then it is practical room with 9 rooms, including full equipment, chemicals, and modern. These are pictures. some student assessments in the practical room. The college primary clinical training site is Bạch Mai Hospital, the first comprehensive general hospital in Vietnam to be ranked as a special class hospital. So many scientific reward help lecturers or students learn and update new knowledge. Then they get some practice day or skill competition day to exchange learn from college. Every year there are many articles and publication published in specialized scientific journals. The result from the study have been published through the acceptance committee of the grassroots level Bạch Mai Hospital, the national and the international specialized scientific courses. This is the graduation ceremony day in 2024. International cooperation is an opportunity to know many different in medical university or knowledge in other country. This is the day exchange with the medical students from Newcastle University. And exchange with Yokohama College from Nursing Japan. The school has collaboration with both domestic and international organizations, include the International of Health and welcome students from the college who graduate and complete their students in Japan to work in Japan. And the student affair rewarding activity for students for who study result each year in my school. And the international seminar for students. This is the job counseling seminars for students. And the job opportunity after the graduation in my school is after graduation, students have many opportunities to work in domestic and international hospitals. The majority of students found a job within less than 6 months with a rate of 38%, while 22% of students found a job within a period of 6 to 12 months. The Department of Quality Assurance and Student Affairs regularly conducts surveys to ensure that the school training is of high quality. This is the Paris Self Congress 2025 to 2027. These are some activities in my school. The Loving Tech Market 2025 and the Ho Chi Minh Commerce Job Union. There is some activities like football or give the best student some gift. this is the special activities in my hospital and the college. The fight against coronavirus in 2021, 45 teachers participated in the campaign in Ho Chi Minh City, and 11 teachers participated in the campaign in Bắc Giang, with 781 students participate in the campaign in Ho Chi Minh City, and thank you very much. This is the link social in Bạch Mai and the address. Thank you.
This part of for her presentation. So next we will move on our next part. Ms. Mai will introduce the hospital internship activities of nursing students from our school in the Bạch Mai Hospital. Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Phương and I'm a nursing student from Bạch Mai Medical College in Harvard. Today I'm very excited to share with you about clinical internship lecturing at Bạch Mai Hospital. Bạch Mai Medical College is located next to Bạch Mai Hospital, one of the largest and most reputable hospital in Vietnam. As part of our nursing program, we have the opportunity to intern directly at the hospital. The main goals of our internship are to apply what we have learned in class, improve our nursing skills, and get used to the hospital environment. It also helps us develop teamwork and communication with real patients. During our internship, we rotated through different departments such as internal medicine, surgery, pediatrics, ICU, and the emergency room. Each department gave us unique and valuable experience. Our daily duty includes checking patient vital signs, giving medication, assisting with own care, and helping patients with hygiene and use. Of course, everything was done under supervision of nurse and doctor. During my clinical training, we learned how to stay calm in emergency situations, how to communicate with patients and family, and how to apply theory into real-life care. We also try clinical discussion and morning handover. Working in the busy hospital like Bạch Mai was a challenge. We had to manage time well, parents check, and sometimes deal with emotional moments when patients were in critical condition. The internship experience at Bạch Mai Hospital provides invaluable takeaway for nursing students. One of the most significant benefits is the improved clinical confidence gained through hands-on experience in various departments, allowing students to refine their skills in real-life medical situations. In addition, the internship enhances communication skills and students interact with patients, family, and healthcare team, learning how to convey important information effectively. A deeper understanding of nursing duty is achieved as students engage in all aspects of patient care, from assessment to treatment planning and follow-up. of a professional nursing career. In conclusion, we would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the staff in the instructor at Bạch Mai Hospital for their unwavering support and guidance throughout our internship. The experience has been both valuable and transformative, equipping us with the skill and confidence needed to excel in the nursing field. We are grateful for the opportunity to learn from such dedicated professionals and are eager to apply the knowledge and hands-on experience gained during the internship in our future role as nurse. Thank you for making this journey an unforgettable one. Thank you for listening.
Vừa rồi thì các bạn cũng nghe các bạn giới thiệu rất là chi tiết về cái thông tin của nhà trường với các bạn là sinh viên này. Thì bây giờ thầy muốn nói một câu này là chúng ta đây đến tinh thần chúng ta không phải là trao đổi, phải học, mình học kẻ thầy thắng tất cả mọi người đến đây. Mục đích của thầy là tạo một sân chơi cho các bạn này của hỏi. Bây giờ vừa hai bạn vừa trình bày đấy, thầy vừa nói cho thầy với bạn này, bạn là sinh viên này, bạn cũng có một số cái muốn góp ý, tôi vừa đề xuất một số góp ý, một số cái để chúng ta có thể cải thiện hơn cái kỹ năng nói của mình, đặc biệt kỹ năng phát âm rồi một số kỹ năng khác thì có thể nhờ thầy nhờ bạn đấy, bạn ấy mà là một người gọi là bản địa, dùng từ một bản địa là đó là ngôn ngữ thuộc chính thức của Việt Nam và chúng ta là người đi học về tiếng Anh nên là đến cái đời mà muốn bổ ích chúng ta nói qua đi, đúng không ạ? Ngay cả hai bạn trình bày này có những rất nhiều những vấn đề kẻ thầy cũng thế nên chúng ta không có gì ngại cả, chúng ta tích cực học để chúng ta tiến bộ được. I would like to invite you give us some suggestion about when we speak English, especially pronunciation, intonation. When my student, okay, what do you want me to do? Pronunciation. Oh, okay.
Well, first of all, I think it's amazing that your students can deliver something like this in their second language. I think it's incredible. I personally feel quite ignorant as a British person in a world that speaks English so globally. I feel very ignorant and I don't need to speak another language. And so I have great respect for my colleagues who are able to deliver that in a second language, so thank you. In terms of specific feedback, I
mean, yeah, especially as a second language, that was amazing. It's something that I would be able to do. So I think everything that you said, and yeah, everything that was said in both presentations was really good. And I wouldn't actually have any feedback about pronunciation. I thought it was great.
I mean, I can understand everything.
I think you are a speaker. We are just English learner. So I think you can share the detail about our pronunciation. Make us improve English skill, especially speaking skill, right?
It's much easier, I think, when you're having such as someone to correct them at the time. It's hard to think back now. There might have been odd words that didn't quite pronounce how you would say it, but I think on the whole it was very good. And also at home we have a lot of doctors that are sort of international, and so I'm quite used to hearing different accents, and quite often things are pronounced differently at home, and that's just normal. And as long as it's understandable, that's I think the general sort of like consensus is that that's good enough that we can understand.
Okay, I think very much. Thực ra các bạn ơi, người ta cũng rất là cởi mở với các bạn ạ. Vì thầy nghĩ thế này, vì chúng ta là người học tiếng Anh ấy, nên là thầy chỉ muốn nói với em một câu là gì? Mình đừng ngại, mình cứ nói thôi, thầy thì nó sai lời không sao đâu. Vấn đề là chúng ta ngay cả nước người ta cũng thế, từng miền một đấy, người ta vừa nói. Tiếng Anh là từ quốc gia đấy, cùng các bạn như bạn một sinh viên cũng học đấy, người Ấn Độ nói tiếng Anh khác, người Việt nói tiếng Anh khác, thứ hai là cùng nước người ta mỗi vùng miền chúng ta đấy, Bắc Trung Nam ta đều có. Đây bạn này bạn người miền Nam, đấy, thì bạn ấy cũng như sao ở Việt Nam. Chị biết ở sao?
Có như là chị tí có biết nói của chị nói.
từ từng cái vùng miền nó đều có những voice, những accent khác nhau, nên mình không quan trọng đâu, mình cứ nói thôi nhá. Mình nói ít nhất những cái tối thiểu, những cái người nói cái tối thiểu thì nói được, người ta hiểu là những em in sao, những cái cơ bản nhất của tiếng Anh mình phải biết. Ví dụ nice là nice, some Vietnamese people nice. Nice.
Are there local dialects in different areas of Vietnam? So do people from down in the south of Vietnam sound different to people from Hanoi, for example? They're different dialects?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. So now it's time for us to have some interactive work activities. So now here's how it works. You can see it on the screen. I will divide you into four groups. One international student and about 5 to 6 our Bạch Mai Medical College students. And first, you will introduce yourself to the group. And second, each group will randomly draw the name of our medical specialty. And now, and after that, you will describe the characteristics of that specialty and the common diseases associated with it. So now, I will divide you into four groups, okay? So we are in group 1, 2, 3, 4. And students, you are passed from 1 to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Các em đến từ 1 đến 4 đi, bạn nào được số 1 thì vào nhóm của bạn là bạn số 1. Còn các em phải đến số 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 đi, có anh chưa?
Đấy, và đây có thể là một bạn mà anh sinh viên, một bác sĩ sinh viên medical student của nước Anh ạ. Bạn ấy tên là Elliot Hammer, rất tuyệt vời, đang trao đổi. Đây là một nhóm khác. Đây, các bạn sinh viên vẫn đang tích cực học tập cùng với các sinh viên của nước ngoài ạ. Vâng, rất là tuyệt vời. Vâng. Cơ hội nào tốt hơn khi mà các bạn sinh viên được trực tiếp học tập tương tác cùng với các bạn sinh viên của nước ngoài. Đây là cơ hội rất tốt để cải thiện cái năng lực ngoại ngữ của bạn sinh viên. Hiện nay thì các lớp điều dưỡng chất lượng cao của nhà trường để có những cái hoạt động trải nghiệm với các bạn sinh viên của nước ngoài ngay tại trường Cao đẳng Bạch Mai. Phải nói là ngay tại trường Cao đẳng Bạch Mai. Và sau khi cái phần giao lưu, phần học tập, chia sẻ những cái nghề nghiệp về rất nhiều những cái chủ đề tuyệt vời. Vâng. Vâng, các bạn sinh viên nước Anh rất là thân thiện ạ. Vâng, rất thân thiện, rất thú vị. Đây là một nhóm khác, đây là một nhóm khác. Đây là một nhóm sinh viên các bạn đang tương tác đấy. Ở Việt Nam thì các bạn thấy là rất nhiều người phải bỏ tiền ra học tiếng Anh tại các trung tâm, đúng không ạ? Nhưng đây cũng là một cái cơ hội rất là lớn. Tuy nhiên cái môi trường thực hành thì vẫn còn rất là hạn chế. Tuy nhiên thì ban giám đốc bệnh viện Bạch Mai, như ban giám hiệu của nhà trường thì cũng như các thầy cô thì rất chăm lo cho bạn sinh viên, luôn tạo những cơ hội cùng với văn phòng của bệnh viện đưa các đoàn sinh viên ngoại quốc đến thực tập tại bệnh viện cũng như nhà trường. Đây là một cái môi trường vô cùng lý tưởng, và tại đây thì là cái sân chơi vô cùng là hữu ích cho các bạn sinh viên có thể cái cơ hội để học tập cũng như là trau dồi cái khả năng ngoại ngữ trong cái thời buổi mà ngoại ngữ đang trở thành một cái vấn đề vô cùng là nóng bỏng trên toàn cầu. và đây là một cái công cụ đắc lực để giúp chúng ta hỗ trợ tiến xa trong cái con đường sự nghiệp, cũng như là để hỗ trợ ngày hôm nữa trong một cái thế giới phẳng, một thế giới công nghệ số, thì chúng ta bắt buộc chúng ta phải cần có một cái ngoại ngữ để chúng ta có thể gần hơn với công nghệ, gần hơn với thế giới bên ngoài. Đây cũng là một nhóm các bạn sinh viên đang thực tập, sinh viên họ đang học tập. Các bạn sinh viên nhà trường bây giờ mặc dù đã gần 1 giờ trưa rồi, tuy nhiên các bạn đang rất là tuyệt vời. Chúng tôi đang livestream trực tiếp trên fanpage Bạch Mai Medical College của nhà trường. Tập thể cả thầy và trò đều có những cơ hội để cùng học tập, để cùng trau dồi kỹ năng tiếng Anh, để giúp cho cái kiến thức tiếng Anh ngày một tốt hơn để phục vụ người bệnh. Đây là hình ảnh của một bạn sinh viên nhà trường đang chia sẻ, và với một bạn sinh viên nước ngoài và các bạn sinh viên của trường Cao Đẳng Bạch Mai đây thưa quý vị. Các cô giáo của nhà trường, đặc biệt là những cô giáo có kỹ năng ngoại ngữ thì cũng đang tích cực hỗ trợ các em sinh viên. Đây là môi trường học tập rất là tuyệt vời. Đấy. Và chúng tôi nhắc lại, đây là cái hoạt động thường niên, hàng tuần chúng tôi đều tổ chức dành cho các bạn sinh viên các buổi ngoại khóa và cùng trao đổi văn hóa, trao đổi tất cả những cái kiến thức kinh nghiệm đối với sinh viên nhà trường. Đây là một hoạt động trải nghiệm vô cùng thú vị của các bạn là sinh viên nhà trường. Những bạn khác có thể nói nhé.
So any other questions about, do we have any more specialties? Or do you want me to talk about other specialties? My favorite specialty is dermatology, so
the skin. That's what I want to do. And in the UK, you have to do a degree of 5 years, then you do 2 and then you do like 7 years specialist training as a dentist. Another 7, yeah. It's a long training pathway. It's very competitive, like the most competitive in the UK. Because after COVID, everyone, after coronavirus, everyone wants the work-life balance. And dermatology has good work-life balance. Yes, yeah, like more 9 to 5. So slightly younger.
After 9 years, I think
It's so varied, it's hard to say exactly.
which department or a dream about which department?
Skin. Dermatology. Nice.
It was
Saying that because I like
it. It was like balance.
International hospital. Yes, the international hospital. Older people. Yes.
I also really like it.
Yes, I love it.
My first job when I started as a doctor in July was working with old people.
I like the children with the baby.
Hi everybody.
Just my first.
Thank you.
It's a boy. He's so true. Yes,
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you got it.
No, I don't.
The blue piece of paper. In your hand.
No mic. Sorry.
Okay. Do I need to? Okay.
Không có mic sao này không ấy đúng không?
Everyone, keep silence. Keep silent.
Từ từ nhá, một mic nha, để từ từ nhá, để mọi người nói.
Okay, so our specialty is rheumatology, which is the study of the joints and the soft tissues, the connective tissues of the body. So a common condition that you would see within rheumatology is called rheumatoid arthritis, or RA, and it's where your body's own immune system attacks the joints and causes inflammation. So these patients that you will be caring for with rheumatoid arthritis, they will be in lots of pain. They will have swelling of their hands and their joints, and the treatments that you will give them is all about trying to rehabilitate, so helping them to walk and do the activities of daily life, and giving them painkillers to help them to be able to move, and that's a big part of what rheumatology is. Okay?
And now, group 3, can you come here and talk about respiratory?
Big hand for group of 3. Group 3. Đây là một cái phần trình bày về kiến thức chuyên môn của các bạn sinh viên cũng như các hoạt động nhóm. Sau khi các nhóm hoạt động xong thì có một cái hoạt động chia sẻ về những cái kiến thức chuyên môn, chuyên ngành, đặc biệt là những ngành y. Các bạn sinh viên nước ngoài, những sinh viên Việt Nam cùng chia sẻ.
So obviously the study of the lungs and all the airways, and we mainly talked about things like COPD. I think the rates in Vietnam and the UK are quite similar, and we talked about the smoking rates in both countries. And I think in the UK, most of the older population still smoke. We have a lot of COPD cases, and actually, in Vietnam, you also have a lot of COPD as well. Yeah. And actually, a lot of the men that mainly suffer with those conditions. We also talked about asthma, which sounds like it's relatively rare in Vietnam, whereas we have a lot of asthma in the UK. Not really sure why or what the difference is there. And we were talking about how in Vietnam you can come and see your specialist here. You can either go to the emergency department or you can go straight to the specialty. Whereas things like asthma and longer-term health conditions are generally managed by our family doctors, so you're not able to access a specialist straight away, and the family doctors manage the management of asthma and longer-term conditions. Do you have anything else you want to say? No? Great, well that was us.
Thank you.
So we were talking about cardiology and what that involves. So more generally, just kind of the study of the heart and the care of diseases to do with the heart. And we touched on a few kind of core topics of cardiology. So heart attacks, heart failure and arrhythmias, so abnormal rhythms within the heart. And then we had a bit of a chat about the kind of management that you might think about with a patient if you were on a cardiology ward. So patients will be given a lot of lifestyle advice about how to optimise their heart health, so things like exercise, healthy diet, stopping smoking, and we were talking a bit about smoking and the impact that can have with your health overall. And we were talking about different medications that patients might be put on, and then also interventional procedures that they may have to either open up blood vessels or improve valve function within the heart as well. So that's kind of an overview of cardiology. I don't know if you have anything else to say.
We had some about eat the high calorie food, drink less caffeine drink, and do more exercise.
Và bây giờ là nhóm sinh viên thứ tư ạ. Vâng, sẽ lên là trình bày.
was gastroenterology, and the first thing I said was that at home, this often just shortened to gastro, which is great, so it makes it a bit easier to pronounce. We digress slightly, and we're talking about lactose intolerance, because apparently that is much more common here, and we don't see it so much at home. It does happen, but it's not
Các
everywhere.
bạn sinh viên của nhóm tư cùng có sinh viên Việt Nam và sinh viên nước Anh đang trao đổi về gastroenterology, một cái hệ tiêu hóa của chúng ta, một số bệnh lý liên quan đến hệ tiêu hóa.
Alcohol-related liver disease and a lot of fatty liver-related complications, which is due to, I don't know how it compares to here, but a lot of people develop alcoholic-related issues with the liver. And again, the diet at home isn't great, so a lot of people are overweight or obese and then they get fatty liver. Other than that, the common things that are treated in the NHS are IBD, so things like ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease, and then any sort of cancer, which is more common in the large bowel, so like the colon.
Thank you everyone for discussing tonight. And now it's time for us to have lunch. So do you like it?
Như vậy là buổi livestream về cái hoạt động giao lưu giữa sinh viên ngoại quốc và sinh viên của trường Cao đẳng Bạch Mai đến đây xin phép được kết thúc ạ. Một lần nữa xin cảm ơn sự chú ý theo dõi của tất cả quý vị và các bạn, và hy vọng sẽ gặp bạn trong một cái buổi livestream tiếp theo. Còn sau đây thì xin hẹn gặp lại và chào tạm biệt tất cả quý vị và các bạn.